Hey everyone, I'm Gloria S. Crump. I'm the Queen of Real Estate with the Coastal Leaders Realty Group, and I appreciate y'all joining us today for our tea and crumpets. And we have Casey Roberts again with Prewett Pest Control, and thank you again for joining us.
You're welcome, thank you.
So last time we talked a lot about the termites, and so today we would like to talk about pest control because there's a lot more to it than just bugs. You know, y'all spraying
Yes.
for bugs. So I feel like this is a good topic, especially coming into new people buying homes and things of that nature.
Sure.
But so with the chemicals, are they children and pet friendly?
We prefer to, chemicals is like kind of a dirty word in our industry.
Yeah.
We prefer to
Like
call
hurricanes.
them.
You
Yeah.
can't say the word H and
Yeah.
down the beach.
We the products that we use are designed to prevent and eliminate, pest problems.
Yes.
So inherently, they're not, they're not like children and pet friendly, so to speak. It's all about the implementation of the product, more so than just the product.
Gotcha.
So you could do a lot of different things with different products. It just depends if you have the right person that knows what they're doing and knows how to keep people protected and livestock and pets and all of that.
Because I mean, we were talking a little earlier, and you mentioned some people might request like an essential oil style chemical, which isn't going to be effective at all. Is that right?
There's a lot of science that I have been exposed to that says that more natural products are less effective.
Yeah.
Of course.
Oh yeah.
There's always a balance that you need to have. You don't want to napalm somebody's home, but you also,
depends on how bad it might be.
Yeah. Well, you don't want to walk through sprinkling flower petals either.
Exactly.
It's gonna have a little balance in there.
Yes. So, for instance, what is typically the general rule? So, after people get their home sprayed, and if they do have small children or pets, they're going to be, because you don't spray like the perimeter and things of that nature inside the home. So, how long does it usually take? Is it just once it dries, or is it after so many hours?
Yeah. Different products have different thresholds. Some, like on the outside of the home, we'll treat, and we recommend that people, stay off of the treated area for a couple hours for it to dry. There's some specialized treatments like flea treatments that it is mandatory that people leave the house for 4 hours, and that's from different exposures of fumes. Whatnot that may be in the air still lingering, but in general, we don't hurt people. Everything that we do, we don't. We have 100% success rate with keeping people and animals safe.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yes.
So how long does it typically, I know obviously it depends on the severity of the issue with pets, but how long does, after the initial treatment, does it take to see results? I mean, is there a certain time frame for certain pests that y'all trying to kill, like they have to take it back to the queen or anything of that nature?
Yes. So if you're using a bait product, that would be something that would potentially have to get redistributed throughout the colony.
Gotcha.
There are insect growth regulators which stop the molting process.
Multiplying where
their life cycle, they can't reproduce, they can't shed their exoskeleton
and eventually
to
they
grow,
die off
and
too.
eventually they die. Yep. There's contact kills, which is if you have a bad problem and you come up on a little hive, if you will, not bees. We don't treat for bees, but for roaches or ants or whatever the case may be, you can do direct treatment. So it just depends on what type of product that you use. And then the best pest control companies implement all methods, not just one cookie cutter.
Gotcha. And speaking of ants, because I've noticed even when I'm showing property in my house, more ant beds are popping up. So, and I've watched videos about ant colonies. It's crazy just how many can be actually under your home, and like not necessarily under it, but I mean they can actually cause damage to construction, like you were saying. I think driveways they can.
Oh, absolutely. If you have fire ant colonies that are creating homes underneath your driveway, what they can do is erode the support structure, the compact soil or dirt that holds the, originally held the concrete flat. They can erode that, and then now the concrete can have weak points, and the more you drive on it, the more those weak points are pushed down, and you start to, get fractures.
Yes, because I noticed just in my yard, there were so many soft spots, and I was out there for Halloween, and I realized I might need y'all to come check out
Yeah,
and
we
see
would
what
be
I
more
got
than
going on under here.
we take good care of
very
you.
abnormal. Yes, and so you mentioned y'all treat the fleas and the ticks and things of that nature.
Yes.
Now, not only do y'all treat the interior of the home, y'all also do the exterior as well.
We do. We have a pretty in-depth process. We utilize a term called IPM, or Integrated Pest Management.
Okay.
And basically, it's designed to keep products effective yet away from exposure to people or pets.
Yeah.
And so what we would primarily focus on would be 3 different zones on the outside. We treat up against the house. We have a method that gives ample coverage to the ground and to the base of the home.
Okay.
And then we treat around that that would be like with a liquid treatment, like a liquid product. Then we step outside of that perimeter, and we treat with a granule product. So it could be something that can be wet in as a pesticide, or it's something as benign as like a bait that they would eat, made from corn and boric acid. And then we treat up top as well. Underneath the eaves, we line that with a protective zone.
Because there's a lot of the wasp nest, and especially in the summertime.
Wasps, mud daubers, spider webs. We sweep down all those spider webs and spider eggs and brown widows, black widows, and all those.
So what are, and we talked about this before the video, that every season has different common household pests. So what are the common household pests in our area, would you say?
Right now in the winter, we're going to see a lot of rodent activity.
Yes.
A lot of movement. Yep. If we have decks outside of our home or big bushes, the rodents will be out there during the spring and summer, eating, getting water. When it comes to the winter, they like to get protected just like we do.
To be warm.
Yes, and electrical lines, things like that.
Oh, and they can find the smallest crevice
Absolutely.
to get inside your home.
Actually, if a mouse or a rat can fit their skull inside something, the rest of the body will squeeze in behind it.
It's just awful. So, I had this happen to me before.
Imagine that.
And I had a new hot water heater put in, and the pipe going, because I'm in a crawl space, they didn't seal it. And anyway, it was tragic. It was just, I did not realize I had a rat in my home until I went to the pantry, and he just had a smorgasbord in my pantry. And they did. It was a very small crack, and they ended up putting some spray foam just around that crack, so it could not get in there. But it was beyond tragic.
It's super common, and it doesn't matter if you're in, downtown Mobile or downtown Fairhope or out in the country.
Oh yeah.
I mean, the cornfields and the cotton fields are a little bit worse sometimes, especially with harvest season.
Oh, for sure. And so we were talking about, there's multiple species of roaches that I had no idea that there were so many roaches. I mean, I hear, the palmetto bugs, the ones that are like just huge, they can fly, but there's obviously, and you have to do different techniques sometimes, or different chemicals to kill some.
Yeah, so there's two main, that's the wrong word. There's 2 main categories.
Okay.
Domestic, which would be like German cockroach, which
are those the small ones?
They're about an inch long.
Are those the ones that are considered dirty? If your place is dirty,
those would be those ones that are considered. But however, it does not matter if you are some roadside motel in the middle of the desert, or if you are, the Ritz-Carlton, and all of those stages in between. How we get those roaches is not from just being dirty.
Okay.
We bring them in from somewhere else. They're transported.
Gotcha.
So a backpack, a package, a grocery bag, box of oranges.
Kind of like bed bugs in a way. Could
Exactly
be
like
transported
bed bugs.
bed
So you
bugs.
could be the cleanest person in the whole world and still have a German roach get in. And if a female mates one time in her life, she is then pregnant for the rest of her life and will give birth 5 or 6 times to 20 or 30 in each egg, and then vice versa. And she never technically has to see another male after that one time ever again. So the problem can, it
just magnify,
pretty quickly.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Yes.
So what's the other ones that are like that we see that are not considered the dirty?
Those are the peridomestic version of cockroaches. We have the American, which is what a lot of people consider a palmetto bug. When I lived in Florida, in Cocoa Beach, Florida, they were all
it's always
palmetto
seemed like
bugs.
I see them around water. If you go to show property and I open up, they're usually in the tub. I don't know if it's just, we've always gone palmetto bugs because I figure they just like water. Is that kind of like they kind of gravitate towards like a water source?
Yes, ma'am. Food, water, and shelter, just like us. And so
they're obviously not very difficult creatures to
sometimes
figure out.
in the bathtub, that slick porcelain, they can get stuck in there.
Oh, okay.
So or if there's a break in the pipe, it's outside in the yard, you have no idea.
Yeah.
A root came through or whatever, and now you can have little bugs crawling through the pipes. And so it is, I can't stress enough that every single person, no matter who you are, what your status, what your place in life, we're all susceptible to all the same insects, which is,
Someone's got to do the job. So
yes, and we
got people like you that are not afraid of bugs.
Yes. It was funny, my mom laughed. I used to be pretty scared of bugs, those big flying roaches fly at you, and they always seem to want to land on me when I lived in Florida. And when I told my mother, I feel like it, when I told my mother that I got a job in pest control, she laughed, and now I just make it my mission to protect everybody from those same horrors,
Exactly, because it is very horrific, especially spiders. Ugh.
They can sneak up on you, and
I know.
If you're not expecting it, it can give you a little shock.
Well, you read these stories about, people have them, could possibly eat so many bugs a year, not knowing in your sleep, and things of that nature. It's just disgusting. But someone's got to do the job, and so we're glad that you're here and giving us some insight. So I do appreciate you taking the time. And again, it's Casey Roberts with Prewett Pest, and his contact information will be at the end. So if you're having any issues or just want to be preventative, which I think we all should need to be preventative bugs, so give him a call. So thank you for watching. We look forward to seeing you next week.